single malt scotch, dude. So I'm
Oh,
just
just
chilling.
making me jealous, Salty. Long time no see, man.
I know. I mean, well, you and I talked during the week, and
Yes.
we did watch the animated Hobbit the other day. It just we're reminiscing about how good animation
So,
was and
so good. How beautiful were those
stories. Great.
gorgeous watercolor painted backgrounds?
Yeah, I it's in before we went live, we had a bet as to how long before we turn negative to talk about how much everything sucks, with good reason. But going back to some of these things like the animated Hobbit, then yeah, it's dated, and maybe you have to be Gen X, maybe you have to have been a kid in the '70s and saw it. But it's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful piece of animation for the time, and there's a lot of
It
heart in
is.
it. A lot of heart in it.
That's what's lacking a lot these days. Salty, a lot of heart, the
And
passion,
soul,
the love, the respect, the
humanity,
soul.
humanity.
Well, guess what? Today we're talking positive things, aren't we? We're going to see. Well, I've started a timer. We're going to see how long we go before we venture into the negative zone. See how long it lasts. I was
It's
talking with
not
Nosferatu.
negative. It's not negative, Gray, if it's true. Okay.
It's
Like, chat, get my
realistic.
back on that. Like, I'm not a little rain cloud. I am, however, an accurate weather forecaster. When it's raining, it's raining.
It is.
Like,
Let's shout out the
smile a
chat as
while.
well, Salty. I've been going
No.
through it like without even talking about anybody. Smile a while for me. Fantastic to see you. Thank you. Good evening. Great to be here with you and Salty. We have Nosferatu, of
Sass.
course. We've got Nay 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 in the chat. He's feeling a bit blurry because it's 5:30 a.m. his time. Wow. It's
Cheers.
1:30 p.m. in Japan. How late is it where you are, Salty?
It's a little after 8:30 here on the far westernmost west north edge of the United States, the lower
Oh, it's
48.
west,
So,
north, and south, and a little bit of do 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 do. There we go. Dwayne Muth is in the chat. Greetings and salutations. Great to
hail.
see you, Dwayne. I'm glad. And Nosferatu is shouting out his boxed wine brother.
Dude, I wanted Gray to send you the link to come on so that we could talk shit to you before we started streaming, and Gray said this. Nas, he said, "You're too much of a coward." So I just want you to know, I just want you to know who your friends are, Nosferatu. All right? And dude,
Nosferatu,
it's
you
good to see you.
pussy.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Hey, Squeaker's here as well. Great to see you, Squeaker. Thanks so much. She's amazing. She watched one of my comic book live streams, which are on like ridiculous time in the morning, so it's like 6 a.m. something. So shout out to Squeaker Mouse. I appreciate it. Nos,
I've watched a
Odisama.
couple of those live when it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. And
When you want to go back to sleep, just put Grey on. Problem solved.
no, I'm aroused, maybe, but not sleepy Gray. Okay. And Squeak, I just want to shout out Squeak. We were over there watching on Floral's channel. Floral was playing Fortnite with some people and some other puppets, and then I think we were all on Snacks and Comics channel. All these fabulous puppet creators that I work with a couple times a week just to come and hang out to decompress. If you like R-rated puppet humor and semi-talented people on the screen, check out Snowed Up Live, Floral from Under a Rock, as well as Snacks and Comics.
I'm jealous that you are a full member of the Cotton Connection, Salty.
I
And
am.
how is that going? Like, what's it like hanging out with those guys? It's got to be crazy. I've been there with you once, but it's a long time ago.
You never know what you're going to walk into, and
Yeah.
it's all about comedy's about timing and about thinking on your feet. And some people, some cotton can, and some cotton shouldn't. Let's say that. So yeah. And Sarah, I love singing that Hall and Oates. Did you know Hall and Oates have a restraining order against each other? Like, this is true. This is
It's the
Hall and
sign of the
Oates.
world is over. It's ending. The apocalypse is finally here.
I mean, like what's next? Bananarama releases a porno? I mean, come on, guys. Like, what the hell's going on?
Oh God! Shout out to Whooper Trooper as well. He's a bit tired, but just wanted to say I love you both, especially Salty and Angry Canadian mate. Congratulations, man, on your 1 year university, 1 year university, 1 year on YouTube live stream, which was on before. I jumped in
Congratulations.
for that for a little bit, so it's great. He has it worked out where he can do it via Discord, so you don't need StreamYard, you just need OBS. So I'm going to be sending him a message like, Angry, let me know how that worked out or how you did it. But it's probably too
Yeah.
tech for me.
Yeah, I will go to that dark side, the OBS side, because I really want to stream playing video games. I just between work and everything else, and I just haven't done it yet. But my God, I do love playing video games. It's not my life, but I think it would be fun as hell to play some really good video games. And
What
not
have
for
you been
like
hooked on
8 hours.
recently? You've been totally
Oh,
hooked.
I've
Come
been
on.
telling you to go play it. It's yes, it's an older game, but it's Red Dead Redemption 2. And I know Zach's talked about it years ago and said play this game, and I'm like, whatever. And then Purple Valkyrie actually got it for me for Christmas. And
Oh, nice.
she played it and showed me, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. Why do you need to collect all these materials and craft things? But long story short, I love it. I love this game. I love the character that you play. The story is incredibly compelling. The voice acting is amazing. um cannot recommend it enough. And I mean, like, I am, you guys may not know this, but I've been accused of not being very positive about things, and especially by this limey bastard who's show I'm on.
You?
And I
Don't
don't see
believe
it
it.
that way. So if I'm coming up with something like a recommendation like this, it has gone through the salty veil of new world order, doom and gloom reality filter. And it actually is incredibly fun to play, and it's a great escape, you know?
AC's saying that it's not too old. It's not that old, salty. So yeah, it's supposed to be. It's a beloved game, isn't it? It really is.
It's
People
great.
who've played that, and that's right, was telling me that if you start playing that, you can like say goodbye to your social life for about 2 months or
Oh
something,
yeah.
3 months
Yeah.
maybe.
No, I had to unhook my Xbox and put it in the closet like my own mom. And now I'm going on like about a week and a half with no Xbox privileges. Okay. So I'm out in the real world. I'm walking around. I'm seeing sea otters and doing things, and volunteering and going to church Christmas bake sales and getting all the, flirting with the
Wow,
church ladies and getting free fudge. You got to work this system, guys. Come on.
it's a whole new salty. It's a salty I've never seen. A new side of you. That's amazing.
Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it.
Oh God, Nos, I need to buy Yakuza Zero for Grey, says Angry Canadian. Really? Is it that good? I know Nosferatu has been raving about the Yakuza games, Salty. They helped him learn Japanese. He's actually more
I,
fluent than me.
I've heard that. The Yakuza, to me, it always goes back to William Gibson's Neuromancer. And that was
Oh
kind of my
God.
first association as a kid in the 80s when I got this awesome looking paperback. And I just remember the Yakuza in that book. And then I think in Neil
So
Stephenson,
good.
some of his writing as well. Not dudes I'd want to mess with, you know? Not
I
dudes I'd
loved
want to mess
Neuromancer.
with.
It's one of my favourite all-time
Me
reads.
too.
I know it's a bit of a
Me too.
cliche, but I don't care. I absolutely love it. The ninja
Well,
in
that and
that.
Snow Crash. Snow
Yeah, Snow
Crash.
Crash.
Exceptional books. Exceptional books.
William Gibson, like, he doesn't get enough credit for his not just his ideas, but his dialogue. His dialogue is fucking awesome. It's
It's
so good.
tight.
Yeah,
And he's
it's
really good at building atmospherics. He really is. Now, he is a writer from the 80s, and that can mean a lot of different things. Like, I've just gone back and started rereading the Shannara trilogy. So I'm on the Sword of Shannara right now.
okay.
And a lot of people like to crap on the Sword of Shannara because they say it's extraordinarily derivative of Tolkien. It is. But it's still its own story. And the problem I have with it, though, is this book desperately needs an editor. And I wish I could edit this book and cut out a lot of the stuff that's there, because the story, if you skip a lot of pages where they have internal monologue, it actually moves pretty well. So that's one of the things. Great. Add to the list of salty being positive. That I actually take a lot of joy in. So
Oh, classic. Oh my
Squeaker.
god. Smile,
Just
smile away. Sorry, smile a while for me saying that. That explains your video release this week, Salty. Now put your Xbox away. I think.
I
I'm telling
did.
you.
I didn't know. I mean, it's YouTube, and you can see it as a creator. I've been on YouTube for 3 years, and I've gone through some periods where I needed to take a break for a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit, and just as somebody who, and I don't know shit. It's okay. This is one dude's opinion. Across the board, views are down for everybody. And I
Oh
think a
yeah.
lot of people are going, why aren't people watching my videos? And a lot of people I work with, a lot of people I'm friends with, they're all experiencing the same things. And I know I don't feel like consuming a lot of things that maybe I would have consumed like 2 years ago, definitely 4 years ago. And part of it is, and I probably shouldn't fucking say this, but whatever.
Say it,
Part of it
say it.
is I just don't want to hear the same thing about the same franchise again. You know why? Because I already fucking know that the next Marvel movie sucks. I already know that the next DC movie sucks. You know what I mean? I already know the next Disney thing sucks. And it's like, that's the world that we live in, you know? And what a shocker. The Hunger Games prequel, which is a musical with Renee Zegler, great. That fucking sucks too. Who could have guessed this? So that's kind of this place where I am, where I need to fill my life and my psyche, especially after watching Wheel of Time season 2, which broke me. It broke me.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse from season 1, they brought out season 2.
I was talking about this with Clobber and Times, and I said it was psychic poison. It was psychic poison. And there's something has fundamentally, it's not just broken, but it's like drinking contaminated water, where you can taste something's wrong, it doesn't taste right, and then it's kind of your job to put the fucking glass down and go get water somewhere else. And that's why I have really, really, really gone back to some old things like the Sword of Shannara, like playing some video games, like spending a hell of a lot of time outside, even though it's cold as shit out on the ocean and things like that, is just not bringing that psychic poison into my body. Now, is it hypocritical because I just made a Doctor Who video today, that repeats undoubtedly the same talking points made by Hollywood scholar Jed, who I have a lot of respect for, other people who have watched the show? I don't think so. And the reason why is I love Doctor Who, and I'm in the middle of watching Doctor Who.
No, that's fine, sorry, because that's something very personal to you and to me. We grew up with the Tom Baker era.
Yeah.
We saw a fantastic villain in Davros. We never even had a single thought that he was in a wheelchair until they told us that we're not allowed to see that anymore.
Before we went live, Gray and our screaming profanity, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I want to give credit where credit is due. I don't know if it was Renaissance Nerd on Hollywood Scholar on Judge Channel or not, but they brought up, and I repeated it. If you're going to look at Davros as being disabled, then you have to then look at Christopher Pike. Remember Christopher Pike in that rolling easy bake aluminum foil oven? I think it was the pilot for Star Trek. Yeah, TOS. Then you got to sit there and go, the misshapen human head on top of the toaster oven, that was Christopher Pike. That somehow makes people in wheelchairs feel bad. For the millionth time, what the fuck are you smoking? And the only answer I've got to is that all of this is just Marxism. And now it's just naked, lazy, really lazy Marxism.
Uh-oh. He said the M word, everybody. I'm going to have to drop a clip quickly. Here we go. Let's get one.
Do it.
Oh, sniff that.
If anyone can tell me what that show is, by the way.
It's a 12-year-old single malt Highland Scotch aged in bourbon.
We have some new friends in the chat as well, so let me shout out the one, the only, the original Canadian what's the word? Canadian Mountie himself. It's Zax. How you doing, Zax? Great to see you.
What's up, dude? What's up?
Jana, Bananas here. What's up, boners? Smiler was talking about, she agrees or he agrees. My YouTube watching is down a lot this year. My audiobook intake is way up. That's what I've been doing. So I've been listening to my older audiobooks. Like I've got the Dune one on repeat at the moment. Absolutely love that. But also podcasts. I've been listening to more podcasts more than YouTube. And I used to listen to YouTube all the time.
Yeah, I went in, I had Audible at one point, and like you're going crazy when the internet first started, and you're like, oh God, I need this and I need that. And then, my devices couldn't hold that much stuff at the time. So then I went back in and I was like, all right, what the hell do I own? And I'm like, oh my God, I've got like, Conan Doyle, and I've got like all of the Dragonlance Chronicles read those books. Another good 80s
Ooh,
series
okay.
desperately needs an editor. But Dragons of Autumn Twilight is very, very much worth your time. Very, very much worth your time. And then, of course, another book series was The Icewind Dale by R.A. Salvatore with Driss
Okay.
the Dark
I've
Elf.
heard the name, not read it,
These
but yeah.
are escape. This is escape. And your brain, that's the crazy thing about reading the Sword of Shannara, and I was talking about this with Purple Valkyrie and others, is that I'm reading this fantasy from before anybody knew what the hell woke was, and my brain is like happy, like it's producing positive endorphins, as opposed to the adrenal overload of yet more shit, trans, lesbian, communist, collective, eat the bugs, all this bullshit stuff that's everywhere in entertainment.
Time
Okay?
marker, everybody. Okay, how long was it? It was 16 minutes into the stream,
No,
and
I'm not
Salty
talking.
has said the magic word.
What? I'm talking about. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm talking about good fantasy, Gray. But no, you're right.
I know. I'm just breaking your balls, man. Let me
Yeah,
shout out. We've got some new
nice.
people here. I think Salty brought them in as well. DJ Play Nice says, "Do like this stream and share it out. That'd be awesome. Thank you very much." Awesome ones here. Yo, Gray. Awesome one saying that cow lives matter. Eat more crickets. There we go.
We were watching. Awesome one was one of the guys I was like slumming it and giving hell to Snacks and Comics and Flora from Under a Rock, and it's just kind of nice to hang out with people. And it's not like my entire evening is spent watching Floral play Fortnite. It's more like it's on over here and I'm doing something else. But it's still kind of cool and to see all these great names.
Yeah. Before,
some
I've got a
people
couple of questions for you, Salty. Let me just read this
know?
out as well.
Yeah.
Salty's setup looks exactly the same as it used to. Maybe worse in brackets. I thought he moved. What the
I did.
heck?
This is not green screen. This is just an obsessive attention to detail. We'll just say that. And really all I needed was one corner because my stereo cabinet is right there. But there are some new things. I've got where's I can do this. I got my Batman 1/6 right there. And I was showing you some of the Lord of the Rings figures that I got that took me a couple of years to finally get. I got a 1/6 scale Gladriel, and I've got a 1/6 scale AO incoming that these things on eBay go for crazy money, and I didn't pay crazy money for them. It's when you run across people who have no idea what the hell they have, and you're like, here's $25, and then they're like,
favorite
oh,
part,
yay!
Salty, when you showed me the Galadriel doll, it was gorgeous. My favorite part was when we both looked up the skirt to see what color panties she was wearing, but unfortunately
there was no penis, Greg. That's the most exciting thing about these dolls from 20 years ago. The women don't have penises.
I've got a serious question for you. Here we go. I'll come back to the Red Dead talk. Nosferatu was asking, okay, what are your favorite aspects of the game of Red Dead Redemption?
I want to hear Zach's too, because Zach's commented on my video, and Zach's, I did give you credit. You might have not been here. And I said you were the very first person to recommend this game. And as I said, Purple Valkyrie bought me this game for Christmas, and I didn't play it. And then she started, just cajoling and shaming me. And so I played it, and I was like, why didn't I play this game sooner? My favorite aspects of this game, number one, where to start? Go out there and look at all of the videos with millions, tens of millions of views about the story,
amazing.
the character. I mean, for me, I love the character of Arthur Morgan. He has a lot going on with him, and the way that I play him, I can't play him as a low, they call it low honor version, because the way decisions you make affect what happens to you and how people treat you. And so I always play a pretty high honor Arthur Morgan, but it's just I love the crafting. You can customize your horse. You can go break wild horses. You can choose from thousands of different outfits in the general store, combinations, and then also craft specialty ones made from wolf and bear and wear all kinds of things and a rattlesnake hat. And it is super nerd Old West, and it's not boring plotting the way I thought a Western game would be at all. This game is remarkable. And when you go into this world is better built than anything we've got in entertainment probably in the last 10 years, Greg. So.
Okay, we've got Nosferatu saying, yeah, the RPG elements are by far my favorite elements. Zach's is saying best game of all time, and the story is perfection.
The story is, and I got to be very careful because there's a lot of things I want to say about that story. And Zax, we should talk about it on the stream sometime and bring on Purple and other people that have played, because there's a moment that changes everything.
Ooh.
And
No spoilers, no spoilers.
I didn't know. And wow, I'm just gonna say that. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, it's just a video game, except it's not, because, and I think part of it is what we started talking about, Gray, which is the hunger for the story, for the human
Yes.
experience, for
Yes.
good, for the whole of the human heart and soul, and some of the darkness. And Arthur Morgan is a hero to me. I mean, Purple Valkyrie asked me that question: do you think Arthur Morgan's a hero? The way I play him, he is. And you can play him as a total piece of shit, like a super bad guy.
Okay, interesting.
I could never do that with like Fallout 3 and be a cannibal and all that stuff. And I don't do that with Arthur.
Zach's is saying that. He says, I can't play him as a villain. I can't play him. He's got such a great arc.
Yeah, he does. He does. And
Cool.
this, yeah, I mean, there's a couple great guys out there. The Strange Man, I think Mr. Fizzy. I've watched the hell out of all those videos now that I've played the game, and I'm started a second playthrough, because you can replay this game and the AI changes. Like where animals were, where certain things happened, they don't happen in your second playthrough. And I thought it was just going to be like rinse and repeat. Not at all.
What are you playing it on, Salty? What's your system that you're using for
I've just got an Xbox One that I got off eBay. Like when they locked us all down.
Yeah, get a second hand, get it used and whatever, and just to get this game and to get a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's Black Friday, and I was actually talking about this. It's Black Friday here in the United States. And I was looking, and I was like, is it just me, or is absolutely nothing fucking actually on sale? Like nothing. I did go to the hardware store today, and my hardware store is kind of a big deal here in my small little town, because they sell like everything, shoes and shorts and, weapons and rifles and big fishing stuff here. And so I got a couple flannel shirts for myself, these heavyweight wool flannel shirts that were like $12. And it's like, yeah, I came in here to get some tools, but I guess I'm going to get these shirts too. So that was my big Black Friday experience.
Shirts? You sound like an old man, Salty. Listen to you.
Jesus. Dude, it's most of my closet. Look at where I live, dude. I live in flannel. Come on.
Just jealous. I'm jealous. I was actually saying, Gray, you have to play it. Yeah, I've watched some video myself. We talked about it on one stream a few weeks ago. And it's like, oh my God, this looks so good. It's so immersive. You dropped into this world.
Yeah. And the voice actors, they don't want to be called voice actors because they're actually performance captured. And so the acoustics of when they're talking, it's not dialogue recorded in the studio. They actually put these guys on something that was like a horse with a full suit, like they did for Andy Serkis, like when he did the Lord of the Rings films. So they captured the motion and how it was turning and talking to one another and the interaction of that, and put it into a video game. That's part of the reason why it's so immersive, not to mention the talent of these people who are the cast. So
sounds cool. Zach's saying everyone playing Red Dead Redemption 2 has a different experience. You can swap stories over a pint. A nice pint.
Oh yeah.
Fancy a pint.
Yeah. And you can, so many horses. And I have had a lot of horse. It sounds crazy. Like it's just a fucking video game, right? But it's like, I have a horse and I love this horse more than anything in the world. And for those of you who played, yeah, a lot more than you, Gray. It's the warped brindle that you get up by Wapiti Reservation. That's my horse. That's Salty's horse. So yeah.
Nosferatu recommends, if you like RDR, I suggest the game Gun, which I think we did talk about a few weeks back.
Cool.
I think it might be an older one, but it looks really good as well. It's supposed to be awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Gray? You're not just going to skate and sit there and look beautiful and read off comments. What do you found that's good? What do you found that you're into, dude? I want to hear from you.
What am I into these days?
I mean, not the kinky shit that
being an alcoholic, possibly.
Well, we all know that, but I mean, for entertainment,
Well, as you saw, like, I was lucky. For once in Japan, we got an early movie release. Godzilla -1 came out, and I think it's awesome because Godzilla is not a sympathetic villain in the movie. They make Godzilla absolutely fucking terrifying again.
Cool.
It starts off with Japan right after the World War II. So Japan's, like supposedly level 0. You see the ruins of Tokyo, and then like Godzilla comes in and attacks. Man, it's pretty dark. It's a dark movie, but there are moments of hope in there, and they build up the characters, they build up their story. The characters actually mean something. They're not just nonsense, filler between the Godzilla scenes.
Yeah.
There we go. How about that?
I remember you saying that. And I watched your reviews, and you got great numbers on them, and it was great to watch you talk about something for the reasons that you did. And it is something that's fundamentally missing, and it is not an accident that the human experience is missing, that the hero's journey is missing, that human connection is missing from Western entertainment. And I find it fascinating that these other cultures that do and are doing that type of entertainment is being exported over here to put on streaming services, and people are watching the hell out of it. So I think that's fascinating.
For people who like a good audio, not just soundtrack, but good, like an audio mix, please go and see it in a theater if you can. It's going to probably mean subtitles, but you got to see this in a theater. You got to experience it, not just for the visuals, but the sound design. So it's amazing. Godzilla's roar, the sound of him coming and stuff. You know what I mean. Sound of him walking, his steps. Oh my god! And it is a great soundtrack. It really is.
Nosferatu and Awesome One and Sax and everybody's going around about the horses in Dead Red, and Zach says he always goes for the white Arabian from the mountains.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, baby, I know that one. A little too skittish.
He was talking
for
about
me.
the young boys.
Wow, and you think I'm toxic? Okay, but no, I mean, and the other one is the standard breads. Just in general, the wild broken standard breads. And I got a soft spot in my heart for the black boy horse, the male horse, the stallion. Just good horses, great horses. When you're fully bonded, generally keep me on before that goddamn cougar over by Lake Ojibwa comes to get me. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know the spot, right?
Do you get got by a cougar, Salty, in this game?
Yeah, not in the way that they show on the special channels. This is an actual like big cat that jumps on your back and rips your spine out. So yeah.
Hey, shout out to Low Spec Linux Laptop.
Hey,
great to see you,
up?
mate. Genki. I hope you're Genki. Jana saying, I will break that horse. Zax 2023.
You got to do it in the Dolph Lundgren voice. I will break the horse. Yeah.
Is that how he speaks? I haven't.
Dolph Lundgren, dude. He was in Rocky
IV.
Come on.
No, I know. Is he in fucking Red Dead Redemption?
No. Dude, keep up. Come on.
I can't keep up, mate.
It's me. Stoned over there?
I'm nearly 51, Salty. I'm struggling just to even press the button on the mouse at the moment.
All right, that's
Come
fair.
on, man.
I'm 53, but I'm much better preserved. Yeah.
Genki Dare says Low Spec. Good, I'm glad to hear that, mate. What's this from Smile a While for me? Not a video game player, but animated horses is what got me to play one. Yes, 20 years working with them means I'll willingly tear apart bad animation.
And I would love to hear what you think, Smile, because I've seen a lot of documentaries, and the thought that went into this, and the Rockstar development team behind this talked about how many hours and how many millions were invested in trying to capture not just horse movement, but horse personality based on breed, type, gender, because there's only 2 fucking genders of horses, just like human beings. And it blew my mind, and it shows in the game. I grew up, my grandparents had a farm, had horses. I had neighbors that had horses, rode bareback, as a kid. And man, horses have a lot of personality, so.
Getting blindsided by a cougar, what could be better? Says Zax.
I agree. That's where I have my Springfield with my express ammo in there and everything else. But still, I've shot a cougar in the head. I don't know how many times the goddamn thing still got me. I'd like to have a word with Rockstar.
Did you say Springfield? Springfield, it's a hell of a town. Okay, I'll stop.
Put on a dress and do that. Put on a dress.
Outlaw, how you doing?
Dude.
Great to see you.
Yeah, talk about good writing. Adega stuff is actually quite good. I listened to his reading his own works. Check out Adega Outlaw's books are on Amazon.
Oh, cool.
Ping him in chat. And
was it him, Salty, with that awesome comment on your Doctor Who video? It was
Yes.
Adega
Yeah.
about
Adega's
he
incredibly
summed it
supportive.
up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
He's he's a very talented man. And there's a lot of people pushing a lot of things that the writing, in this case, especially with Adega, I highly recommend it because it's not you will be rewarded for the investment.
You will
Support
be.
those who are worth supporting. Just gonna say that and leave it right there.
So you're asking what else I've been getting into because of the Godzilla movie. It's got me to go back and start watching the old ones. And I had
dude,
I was watching not the original. I was watching one from 1984, which was actually re-released. There was an American version made of it. I think it's just called Godzilla Returns or Godzilla 1985 might be the American version.
Was Hulk Hogan in it? Hulk
so
Hogan?
Good. No. It's a Japanese version, but was kind of re-edited for America. I think they added. Who was the journalist? Is it Raymond Burr, the actor? He played a journalist in one of the very original Godzilla movies. So they brought him into it just for an American cut. Watching the Japanese version of that, excellent, proper, no CG, proper practical effects. A guy in a huge Godzilla suit, but it was shot so well. It looked good,
But I mean, I think too, and it goes back to maybe it was being a kid at the time, and you kind of get established in that. Jesus, you're kind of willing to look, let's say, less than stellar special effects if the story's there. Now, if the special effects sucks and the story's not there, then you're out of business, which is Disney, and Marvel. But with those old movies, there's a lot of charm, and yeah, you can see a zipper down the goddamn Zilla suit, when kicking cardboard boxes.
Right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just share screen a sec. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this up. Ladies, can I get it up? Here we go. This is from the Wikizilla, Salty, and it's actually, look at all these movies. It's ridiculous, but it's Godzilla. Number 16, The Return of Godzilla. It came out in December 1984. Let's have a quick look at it.
Reagan's first term. Good times.
Godzilla. There we go.
Godzilla.
You got to say each syllable with the equal stress, so it's Godzilla. There we go. Listen to me, sound like a bloody teacher.
You've been in Japan too fucking long. That's for sure.
I know. I'm trying to find the cast here, who they added to it, but yeah, I say there was a weird English dub version made of it. Where are we?
Is it worth watching? Is it good weird, or is it good, or is it just weird?
It's good. I mean? It's good weird.
Okay.
I'm only halfway through because I did one of those things where you put it on late at night, and it's like, I shouldn't have started watching this before I went to bed.
Oh, dude, I know that one. I know that one. I do that with Basil Rathbone in the Sherlock Holmes movies, the serials.
Basil, it's Basil, for God's sake, Salty. How many times?
Yes, Basil.
Yeah. Raymond Burr, here he is. He plays a character called Stephen Martin. Steve Martin. Anyway,
Jesus, hold on. I got Nosferatu flaming me in your chat. You might want to bring it up to give him the attention he so richly craves. Yeah.
Okay, where are we?
No, I was gonna say, I have to call out a boxed wine brother. How is he so based and never played Deus Ex? No, that is actually, I've been told not to buy that because I'm getting that for Christmas. So there's your answer, dude. Okay.
Oh, you just made a vampire so happy with that comment. Little Nosferatu, he's so happy now you said that. He's been trying to get me to play it as well for ages.
I want to play this.
I tried it.
I want to play this because I watched all the clips where they're talking about
Godzilla
reality that we live in now. So yeah, I watched all those clips on YouTube.
Reality used to be a friend of mine.
Godzilla
desu ka? Hey, Godzilla.
Wow.
Did I get to a Japanese class?
I want to order sushi and get him.
I want some sake. And salty. Speaking of sake, I've been kind of good recently. I've not been drinking as much as I used to.
Sure.
I'm out tonight with the Shobo guys, with the Volunteer Fire Corps. It's our Forget the Year party. Okay, Japanese. It's called Bonenkai, and it translates as Forget the Year. End of the year, whatever. But forget the year because everyone just gets hammered. So Gray's out of the town tonight.
Oh, dude, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, I
wait.
used to run with a volunteer crew, and boy, I tell you what,
it's been a long time.
Firefighters like to drink. They have good reason to drink. They cook great. They fight great.
They like
good
to
people.
party.
good people, you know. So have
Even the
fun
Japanese
tonight, dude.
ones.
Send me pictures, dude, because Gray and I send pictures of our beach walks. It's like we're dating. I'm sending a picture of my beach walk, and he's sending me a picture of his beach walk. But yeah, I send him
With-
pictures. Well, you know, in the Pacific Northwest, and he sends me their pictures of the radioactive water from Japan. So yeah.
No, I'm on the other side. I'm on the Japan Sea side, so I think it's supposed to be okay where I am. Jesus. Wakizashi, how does the 84 Godzilla film compare to the new one? The new one, from what I'm hearing from people, the new one is, people are saying it's kind of a remake of the original 1954 one, but that wasn't set directly after the end of the Second World War, so they've moved it back in time a little bit. It's really good. Look, it's so good. Do check it out. The 84 one, it's kind of cheesy fun, you know, but they're taking it seriously, Salty. The actors, you know, whoever the writers, the producers, it's all been taken seriously. So you kind of get pulled into the story. There we go.
I really look forward to the movie that what is it, Godzilla -1, whatever the title is of the movie.
-1.
I look forward to that because again, like I watched the trailer and of course it was Japanese and subtitles, but the attention to detail, you know, it just like with the costuming and the technology and just all of it, I was like, somebody cares. Somebody cares about their intellectual property. Somebody cares about the legacy that they have. They don't need to redefine. They don't need to reimagine. They don't need to put a chick in it, make her gay and make it lame. They want to tell the story and honor what exists. And that in and of itself is enough reason for me to go see it when it's out in the cinema. I drove by my cinema tonight. You know what's in my fucking cinema here?
What's playing?
The Marvels. The Marvels.
Is that still out?
Ballads, the ballads of Rachel Zegler's menstrual cycle. Wish. And I don't know, something else that sucks. But it's like it's been probably since
Thanksgiving. Salty, was that out? I heard that was supposed to be quite fun as a slasher horror.
No, it's not out. No.
Nosferatu's asking, or he's saying, I wish I could hold Salty's hand and listen to Dokken with him.
Oh, we will. Just play your cards right. Keep sending the nudes, Nos. You know, we'll make it happen. I'll get you a plane ticket. It'll be fine.
Godzilla vs. Kong, Charlie, you won't believe this, but I've never finished that movie. I started it a few times.
I've never finished it either.
I know it's.
We should watch it together, Gray.
We should.
Watch it together just to finish it.
Good night to Nene. Oh, sorry, not good night, because it's daytime. Good night to Smile a While from me. Nene, you've got to go. Great to see you. Thank you for jumping in. I really appreciate it. Copa, if I have to do math to understand Godzilla -1, I'm not watching it.
No. If you can do
no,
one,
you can't understand Japanese unless you got subtitles.
Are there boobs in it, Gray? Are there Japanese boobs and flat Asian asses, or
no? Unfortunately, not. No.
All right.
No.
Okay. Had to ask. You know,
something crazy. Listen to this: $15 million US dollars budget. That's all it cost. And look at the effects.
And the story. I mean, how many times have we said that? Like, on how many different people's channels? Like,
how many
people are willing to forgive things like, yeah, your magical effects don't look so great if the story and the casting is right. You know, you can throw all the special effects and whatever you want, magical, horse shit in CGI, and if you don't have people invested, it is nothing. It is nothing. And I think some of these studios are figuring that out, but spoiler alert, it's not going to change. Not going to change. So look at that. Look at that. That's freaking awesome.
There's a great scene, so like a Jaws scene, where they're chasing this, this fish, basically a fishing boat that's been adapted to try and capture mines, unexploded mines in the sea, and Godzilla just starts chasing them. It's so well done, and it is kind of a bit of a love letter to Spielberg's Jaws movie.
Yeah, when they're on the Orca and with Quint, and yeah. Look at that. This is what I want from my science fiction movie, especially. And we were talking about it, I think, on a live show 2 years ago, that people need to do period piece science fiction comic book movies in IPs. You need to go back to the 60s. I said that about Fantastic Four. You need to set it in the space age. Well, I don't know if people were watching my fucking stream like 2 years ago, but that apparently is what they're going to do. Only they're going to make it lame and put a chick in it and make it gay. But look at this. This is fucking awesome.
It looks amazing. And yeah, if you start, I took some like screen grabs, and when you slow it down, when you take a photo, it doesn't look as good. It's better when it's moving. So there are limits, of course, but think about it: $15 million US budget, and the director and the writer, he was in charge. He was the special effects house, like supervisor, so he had control of it all. And he said in interviews, he was asked to make a Godzilla movie a few years ago, and he's like, no, I want to wait until the technology kind of catches up, until I can realize my vision. I want it to look good.
Entertainment is not made by committee. It is made through an enlightened despotism, through a kind tyranny of a director who has a vision. And the minute you have assholes from corporate show up with their ideas, things go off the fucking rails. Ask Peter Jackson with the Hobbit trilogy. I think it's a prime example of this. But you really have to lock these motherfuckers out and say, do you want to get money or do you want to lose money? Like, just sit on your hands, go bang your interns and let daddy make the art that makes the cheddar. It's a pretty simple equation, Only now we'd have diversity officers and intimacy coordinators and count the skin color, race, gender, sexuality of the individuals cast for the roles. And this is why everything's fucked, But look at these effects. I mean, it does look like Philadelphia current year, but look at these effects.
I was waiting for something like that. It's Detroit or San Francisco.
dude, I
sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
No, dude, that does look like Detroit, like, quite honestly, and Chicago, So yeah.
Charlie the Unicorn, mate, exactly. How hard is a Godzilla story? All you need is the atomic breath, break a few buildings, have some screens. Yeah, what I liked about it is, because I've watched a few of the Western versions, and I do quite like 2014, believe it or not, Godzilla, the one with Bryan Cranston
Matthew
in it
Broderick?
until he gets killed.
Oh, okay.
No, oh god,
Yeah.
that's the 98 one. The 2014 is not bad.
I couldn't make it through that one, Gray. I just couldn't. And I don't know if it's, because I'm an asshole or what it is. I just couldn't get into that movie. In the Broderick movie I saw in the movie theater, and it was like, it's the kid from Ferris Bueller. What the fuck is he doing in a Godzilla movie? But the Godzilla parts were cool,
Yeah. Gray's been timing us since his Godzilla reviews got big. I know, it was just lucky. It was like the Matrix movie, just because of an early release. I managed to get, I caught the algorithm salty, but there are other much better videos, reviews than mine, which have got like over 100,000 views.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Believe me, I know that one. But the thing about it, what is great is you didn't make that video to catch an algorithm. You made this video because you cared, because you saw something you liked and you wanted to share enthusiasm. And we live in a world that is full of insincerity, and for me, in my experience, and on this platform and anything involving streaming, there's a lot of, it's just 99.9% fucking grift. Okay, grift and algorithm writing, which is fine. But when you come across somebody who's really excited and genuinely excited and eloquent with expressing why they love something, I think it's kind of cool, and conversely, why they fucking hate something. Why they hate something, not just like, I'm going to read from the Hollywood Reporter, all the points there again, but if you're really upset because something was wrong or non-canonical, or, how they fucked up The Witcher because you've read the books, or Lord of the Rings, or whatever it is, Wheel of Time, that to me, and I'm only speaking for myself, that is what I want to see. I don't just want to see the same fucking article read 20 times a week with essentially the same thumbnail, without any real passion or commitment.
It's just basically me, I'm crap at making videos, so it's just me saying, oh my god, this was so good, and talking about what I liked here, and that was great, and just being enthusiastic. That's all it was. And this was me the next morning when it had caught the algorithm, and I woke up, I was like, shit, because nothing happened for the first 24 hours. It got like about 50 views as usual. I went to bed, I woke up, and it was like on 10,000 views. Like,
I know, I saw that.
What's going on?
I know, I was like, oh, great, put a video out, and it was like 60 views, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. And then I was going back to your channel. I don't know what, I was dicking around. I was scrolling back through my YouTube thing. I was like, holy shit, Gray's got like 8 million views on this Godzilla video. And I'm like, god damn right.
I don't know if he's
Goddamn
still there.
right,
He's still listening, but I got a shout out to Zax. This is thanks to Zax. He was like, he said, Gray, hadn't even made a video. I wasn't even going to bother. He's like, Gray, you should make a reaction. Make
Yeah.
a video about it. It's not out yet in the States. I was like, yeah, no, but YouTube, blah blah blah. But it's like, go on, do it. So I did.
Do it.
So thanks, Zax, and thanks Copa as well for the advice. I know I don't call you anymore.
Yeah.
I'm too famous now to call you.
Yeah, he made me go through a metal detector in a body cavity search before I came on the show.
Oh,
Big
God.
time.
Anyway, that's enough of that. Stop sharing. Okay, Salty, this has been fantastic. We're not finishing it, by the way. I know. I've booked you for an hour, so and the money's on the way. I just gotta make that clear. The money is on the way.
Yeah, I'll look for the envelope with all the nickels in it.
The 15 cents I make from a regular comic book review.
No rush, man. Whatever. We got time left. It's up to you. I know you want to go out there and hang out with the boys and get shit faced and take your clothes off and get arrested by the Japanese police. But whatever you want to do. So I might need more scotch.
I want to be the karaoke snack bar with you and Nos and Zax and all the people in the chat.
I want to do another karaoke stream. Yes. I want to do another karaoke stream just because I don't give a shit anymore. Like I don't oh wow, oh my God, you're using copyrighted material. You mean this bad Casio organ version of a Pogue song? I'm violating copyright by singing off key, having a good time. Yeah, right here. So that's kind of my attitude.
Motherfuckers. Yeah. That was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, cheap lousy faggot. Yeah. That's one of the best lines.
Be Christmas, your ass. I thank God it's our last.
Yeah.
There we go. Gray and I drinking together only ends one way, says Nosferatu. And it won't. Yeah. It doesn't start with G and end in Y. It actually starts with P and ends in, wait a minute, N. No. Prison. Maybe she's just sort of spelling out penis then.
Jokes. I know. I was gonna let you ride that train out to the end and see where you went. But
see, Jana gets it.
Yeah, Jana. Yeah. Pugilism. Yeah. I'm gonna get more scotch. You run your show.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I think it's time for a clip. I did prepare some clips, and no, it's not a With Nell and I clip because everyone seems to hate those apart from me.
Stupid.
What else do I have? Name the show for $20.
Buzz off. That truck gets everywhere.
Yeah, so what's new with you in the chat? Are you good? Are you Genki? Anything good to recommend? I'll tell you what, I did get back into Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix. And I know, if you first look at that, you're probably thinking, oh, come on, Gray, this is surely woke. It's not, it's really good. It's a great story. Gorgeous 3D animation on it. Yeah, it's not traditional, painted animation, but it does look really good. And the sword fighting scenes, the samurai sword scenes are superb. They're really well put together. It kind of tips its hat to the old Japanese samurai movies, the Kurosawa movies, even the old series Water Margin. If anyone's ever seen that, I'm talking like really old, but where you got this scene of two warriors like facing each other off, and they're imagining in their head how the fight's going to go, and then they adjust their position. For another one, they see the fight salty in their head. It's kind of playing it out, and then suddenly, in a moment of like crazy speed, vroom, they just go past each other, and one of them drops. It's like, this is great. Blue Eye Samurai. Yeah. I know you don't have Netflix, but you can still sail the 7 seas. And don't
worry, I will. I do. Yeah.
As well,
send me the link. Send me the name of that, and I'll convince my fellow pirate that I watch it with to give it a try. Speaking of things, first of all, I just can't get into anime. I keep trying. I started watching the Vinland Saga.
Oh yeah,
and
I started that. I stopped too.
I tried, and again, like I'm trying, like, because there's a gajillion fucking animes out there, and everybody loves it, and I love your enthusiasm. I love it. I can't.
Me too.
Get into it. I like Castlevania. I thought that was cool as shit, but it's like, come on, you got gothic vampire magic stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm in, but I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it's because I'm too old, maybe because I'm too white, whatever bullshit thing it is.
It's everything and more. Everything you just described
Yeah.
and more, Salty. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I can't get into a long-running anime series, but I will watch Akira, or I'll watch what else is there out? Perfect Blue, something weird like that, an animated movie. I just can't get into the series.
Yeah, I mean, Akira was one of those things that was just so new back in the day,
Yes.
and you and I, same age, but watching that, we had never seen anything like that. The animation
No, we
style, the
hadn't.
speed, the music, the characters, it just blew our minds. And again, that was that same period. It was proto cyberpunk, for the lack of a better word, from the 80s. You had the Neuromancer, you had Akira, you had Blade Runner, you had all these things that were just starting to emerge, like as a genre. And yeah, like I will watch Akira now, but I just
Me
can't get
too.
into some of this new stuff. I just can't.
Shout out to Jacob who's here. Jacob's in the chat as well. Great to see you, Jacob. Zax is back as well. Hey, Zax. Charlie the Unicorn, the new Ghost in the Shell anime movie? Question mark. I don't know, mate. I haven't heard about it. Blue Eye Samurai was a little racist to white people. Says Jacob. Really?
Well, if it was only a little bit, then it sounds like a winner to me. Because every other goddamn thing out there is basically like, when are they all going to die so we can take over and have communism? It's basically every other movie. Doctor Who, I'm looking at you. Looking at you, Doctor Who.
It's a bit of a, what do you call it? I'm not going to spoil because there is a bit of a big twist in the first episode, but it's like, what's a good word to describe it? The main character is not 100% Asian. They are a mixed character, and they've set that in, the old time, Salty, in the proper, is it the Meiji or the Edo period, the samurai times, where they were seen as like scum, as dogs, as worse than whatever.
But
the
a lot
half-breeds.
of the
And
Asian culture
they go into
still
that. They go into that in the
now.
story. It's really good. And as someone who's a father of a mixed race, daughter,
Yeah.
it means a lot more to me. I think I really got into it. Not just because of that, though, but I'm saying, why do white people get angry on our behalf? Fuck off. Seriously.
Did I miss something? Because
about racist to white people. No, Jacob, you're right, mate. People are taking unction to it because they've got like
Except for Ireland.
Asian.
Except for Ireland, coming soon.
I've missed that completely, by the way. I've only seen comments about that. I've no idea what's been going on, and maybe we shouldn't talk about it here. Well, maybe we can. Fuck it.
No, we should. Right? We really shouldn't, because I will say things that are entirely fucking accurate that I really mean, and not going to do it. So, yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's me. You talk about my channel with 1,000.
That's what I mean. I'll do it on my channel because I don't fucking care, But it's like it is what it is, and everybody can hold their own opinions. I think we've all come to the realization that bringing in people from the third world who don't want to be part of our culture and have no intention of doing it, it didn't work. Now it worked for one group of people who are very wealthy who want us to live in pods and eat bugs.
How's that been going in France, Germany? The UK. How's that been going?
Ireland. No, I hear about it all the time. Believe me. It's funny though, because my brother in Eastern Europe's like, yeah, it's so great here. Just people who love their culture. People who love having families. People who have lots of kids, go to church on Sundays, have barbecues, love sports, love their national heritage. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny what happens when you establish a culture that treasures that, as opposed to the deliberate destruction and deconstruction of everything around us. Every single fucking thing, But yeah, I'm getting a little fired up. I'll stop. Punk Waddle's here.
That's why you've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, is to escape the madness of reality, isn't it? I know. Yeah, shout out to Punk Waddle. It's great to see you. Who else have I missed? I'm sure so. I saw Jacob before. I got Jacob. Great to see you, Jacob. And don't worry, you're not making me angry. I just that was a rare grey, wasn't it? Getting angry. I'm angry at the ridiculousness of fucking people deciding what is or isn't racist, or what is or isn't acceptable. For
look
me,
at Russell T.
it's
Davies.
a paying consumer.
Look at Russell T. Davies. Just like, no. That's over now. Russell T. Davies, have made the decision that we can't have someone who's evil be in a wheelchair.
It's just, you wonder why we've been taking a break from YouTube, Salty.
Fucking wheelchair! He's a fucking megalomaniacal, genocidal fucking alien who created the Daleks. People in wheelchairs? Fucking homicidal alien from Doctor Who. Wheelchairs? Davros. How are they the same? And Nas, I don't want to have kids with you, and I don't want to go to church with you. Okay?
I'm
For
trying
the
to find
millionth
a
time.
clip.
The
For the
millionth
millionth
time.
time, Nos, no means no. Anyway, wow, we got totally distracted, didn't I? So, do let us know in the chat anything good that you guys recommend out there. I was trying to share, so there is one anime series, but it's only 8 episodes, but they're like 50, 60, even 70 minutes each long.
Really?
It's called
What is
Pluto. Called Pluto, right? It's not about the Disney character,
Okay.
or it's not about the god of the underworld, although
Mm.
could be a reference to that. It's
I
really
was
good
wondering.
intelligent science fiction about AI and sentience and what is alive, what is real, what it means, that kind of thing. But I say these episodes are long. They are pretty long. There we go.
Give me the elevator speech on this. Why should I watch Pluto?
Because it's fucking awesome. No.
Okay. That's a good start. Like, what's the
trying to think.
genre? Is it futuristic, cowboy, magic, lots of
Sci-fi,
lesbian scissoring? What is it?
futuristic fantasy with robots, AI with living alongside humans. There's a robot detective in it who looks kind of human, and it's talking about what it means to be real. That's it.
All right. I will have to check this out when I'm sailing the high seas.
Sailing the high seas. There we go. See, I can't show.
Punkwaddle's dropping some wisdom. Dropping
Okay.
some wisdom. You know Punkwaddle as the penguin with the purple mohawk, and tonight he came up with another puppet personality, which seems to be,
Where is he?
boy, I have to be really careful. Either a penis from Chernobyl or an earthworm. I can't really tell. But yeah. He says the idea that having less opportunity and abilities than others would turn someone bitter and do terrible things because of the unfortunate way people handled those differences couldn't be reality. Davros was crazy. It's one of the things I try to do in my video was just say, look, this guy, he's not a good person. And if you really want to watch good Doctor Who, obviously with both Gray and I's favorite Doctor, the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, the Genesis of Daleks is a really, really good,
so good, Saldy
episode, and it's in the middle of the Key to Time.
It's
I think
long.
that's sort of the series.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at what you keep talking. I'm gonna look it up. How many parts it is? It's quite
well.
a long
You can
one,
watch it on Tubi, and I wish I got some type of kickback from that, but none of these streamers. I think they've all got me blocked on social media because just apparently I'm just an asshole. But you can watch it free on Tubi, and they have all the
I don't
doctors.
believe it.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know. Ask my ex-wife. Although that's been like 25 years. Maybe she died. But it's like, you can watch it on Tubi. Go check it out. And Doctor Who, is it an acquired taste? Do some people love it out of the gate? Do you have to be 12 to get into the old Doctor Who? I don't know. I look what they did with Tennant, with Eccleston, Tennant, and of course Matt Smith. Many people have said it, but Capaldi should have still been Doctor Who. If they would have just given him the same scripts that they gave Matt Smith and David Tennant, I think Capaldi, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hindsight is 2020. I think Capaldi could have been up there. I think Capaldi.
I still like him.
I think we were talking about Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi has the new holy trinity of Doctor Who, but as it was through no fault of his own, we talk about David Tennant and some of us Matt Smith with great reverence. Not the same as John Pertwee for me and Tom Baker, but now.
So this is crazy. 1975, it was first broadcast. It was 6 25-minute episodes. Where are we? The fourth and penultimate serial of season 12 of Doctor Who. It introduced Davros, creator of the Daleks, and showed the story of their origins. There we go. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
And you've got Sarah Jane. The actress's name escapes me, who she passed a couple of years ago. One of the best Doctor Who companions. God, they did so much with so little. And the show really was the personality and acting of Tom Baker with these scripts, which are fantastic. And we can look at him through like a 2023 short attention span type of, and I'm not being critical because I fall in that category just as much, if not more than anyone else, and say, well, it's a little slow. It kind of is a little slow, But that's also the way all entertainment was. You know, things moved a little slower and you soak them up. And in this case, you're never bored with this. You're never bored with this episode. I think that and God, what is it? The Santaran experiment? Like these are just fantastic villains in just I don't know. It's good TV, you know, and you can fill your soul with something. And Christ, I know I need it, Gray. I mean, I need to have the hero's journey. I need to have that. And that's why I'm spending a hell of a lot less time pointing out the perfectly fucking obvious, okay, that all of this stuff sucks, that it sucked just as much, if not more than the last piece of shit that came out, regards to the studio. And the next one is probably going to suck even more than the one now. I mean, all you got to do is look at DC, you know? So it's not black pill. It's just saying I'm not going to play this fucking game anymore. You know, I got it. We're all responsible for what we put into our psyche, in our minds, in our bodies, and what we consume, whether it be food or entertainment or anything. And you know, I'm not trying to get all spiritual about it. It's not true. It's just that how many years are we going to do this? How many times are we going to watch the same video about how much something sucks? We know it sucks. You know. I'll stop talking because I'm just going to
exactly,
piss people
Charlie.
off.
No, you just what you just said. So Doctor Who, it was more like it was more low budget looking than Star Trek. But when you're young, you don't notice those, like the zippers in the suit. You don't notice the sets shaking in the background. You don't notice it.
It's
really.
true.
It was more about the writing. The writing was so good in that. And look at this story. This is Davros. It's R.I.P. Bye-bye. That character is gone now. 1975 he was introduced. 2023, Russell T Davies decides, no, he's in a wheelchair. We can't have that. Let's make him not even disfigured anymore. Let's make him just look like an old Nazi. That's what they've done.
Well, I mean, come on. This is the Caucasian, European-looking, over 50 white guy is the bad guy.
That's what they've done. They've made him a middle-aged, like me, middle-aged white guy.
Now, we can split hairs, and I'm not going to do that because it would just be some weird jerk-off session. But if you go back to this episode, there are some parallels to... it's just it's a little bit better.
It is like the Russian Lord of the Rings, though, when it's only a little bit.
It was Sylvester McCoy when they ran out of money.
God.
When they had Sylvester McCoy as Doctor Who, it was fucking bad. It was bad, dude. Yeah.
Let me just shout out Your Barmy, great to see you, and thank you, mate. Thank you so much for gifting the Wakizashi Teahouse membership. I think Coper Bloper, who just called Doctor Who pee pee poo poo, he just got that membership. How dare you? Wow. How dare you, Coper?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's great to see you though. Thanks so much. And hey, Tina, just stopping in to say hello, give you a like. Thank you. I hope you're good too. She's a big part of like is it Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, and also
brilliant,
the dark sayings of Pete. Oh yeah, great to see you. Thanks for jumping in.
Cheers.
Jumping in, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, this
Scotch.
is...
Sorry, you couldn't pass me a Scotch, could you? Well, you've got a minute.
Shit. Oh, never mind. Thank God it wasn't my Scotch. I learned to put my drinks on my laptop.
2:30 in the
okay,
afternoon.
Like I don't give a shit if the seltzer water falls over, but the Scotch, we're in trouble. Now, what did you say?
No, that's it. I'm going to stop sharing this. It's making me too sad. Davros, who was a great villain, they've just killed him. R.I.P. Davros.
In one thing I wanted to put in the video after, again, not telling you what to think, well, a lot, is to show the words of the people, like Russell T Davies, and put it into context. That's why I have Tom Baker talking about Davros. And then you have the BBC going back and revising history to talk about how in 1975 Davros was portrayed as a wheelchair user.
No, he
that's a BBC.
It's not a wheelchair.
It's a fucking little. It's a tank. It shoots fucking lasers. How many wheelchairs are tanks that shoot fucking lasers? Great. I mean, did they have them in Japan?
I don't know, but I want one. So I want one. I'll tell you. Next time I'm out on the town in Japan.
I don't know. But these people, it's so boring and predictable. And yeah.
Knocking the Scotch over is alcohol abuse, Salty, says Tina.
I actually,
Thank God.
I have a vape and I knocked over my vape. So
It's like saying they'll probably change his name from Davros to Donald as well, just to be even more obvious, right?
Just call him Orange Man. Davros,
Oh,
or as
God.
we call him now, Orange Man. And did you know what Orange Man is? He's bad.
Good point, Charlie. Professor X. What about him? Are they going to
I
take him
thought
out of the
about
wheelchair
that.
now as well?
I know. I thought about that.
He's a mutant. Oh, you can't have a mutant in a wheelchair, can you? That's
well, I think you can have them in a wheelchair as long as they're saintly and perfect, but I think they have to be African American and gay, or trans,
okay. Yeah.
or trans gay dear people. I don't know. I say that shit, and it's not even me trying to be funny, because like yeah, that 2023 was great. Wait till 2024. Say that.
That's right. I was saying the only tank I've ever been around is Grey. He's 260 pure muscle and he's disgustingly girthy. I wish I had some muscles. I'm trying to hide the fact that I don't in this big big top.
Ladies girth.
And you need a license. You need a license for laser wielding wheelchairs. Salty.
In the UK, you need a license for everything. I think you need to have a license to take a shit.
You need a license to live.
So, yeah.
You will do soon, won't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus,
I was watching some video of some cops coming. Dude, I was watching a video today. I think it was on Twitter of some of your limey cops coming and busting somebody's window out and accusing him of not paying his TV license because he owns like 3 TVs or something. And they're like, I don't watch fucking broadcast TV. It's all streaming. And these guys arguing with this cop who's trying to come in his house. His probable cause is he didn't pay his TV license.
Over a TV license. Jesus.
So I got to pay you money for something that's floating around in the air and is actually telling me that I need to eat the bugs and like it and love communism. Like,
it's all
help
for the
me
BBC
understand
as well,
here.
sorry. This has been the BBC's ploy all these years. They've had it, it's ridiculous. You need it. Isn't that people around the world was like,
I can understand it after
TV
World
license
War II.
for the UK.
I can understand it after your World War II, and you guys finally just got done paying the United States back for all the loans that you took out. I think it was in the early 2000s from World War II. It's a true story. So I mean, you guys had rationing over there, not you, but obviously your family. It was terrible. Like you guys were. The World War II was fucking difficult on Europe. Okay, we had it really easy here in the United States, but they were still rebuilding. It's part of why the United States economy took off, is all of our factories weren't all blown to shit in World War II. And that's why, we kind of rose to the stature we did until about the 70s. But to still be charging people for something like that now, it devolved into sort of a parasitic farce from my unwashed, American point of view. Like, it's pretty obvious the only way that you get to make the shit that no one watches is to force people to pay into something, which is extortion to me. It's called organized crime, but over there, it's the BBC,
Don't waddle again, Salty. He's dropping some gems. Defining the villain by their disability. Saying an ogre or orc is a representative of the oppressed. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then someone is telling on themselves.
Well, you're right. You're right. And I mean, like, I was watching something about D&D just keeps going farther down the shithole of woke self-destruction, where you cannot no longer call someone a slave when you're playing a game, or say that they're ugly or that they're fat. Like, you can't call an ogre fat. When you have to explain to someone how fucking insane that is, they're not going to listen to you anyway. Like, there's a certain point where it's like, all right, well, you enjoy being a miserable cunt that's not having any fun. I'm going to go have fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's all you can do, So.
Nosferatu, if you want to summon Grey, just dump a packet of tea in the harbour.
Well, actually, if you send him...
Got so many deep meanings there. Oh my God.
Esoteric nudes of starlets from the 70s, that works too. So, don't ask me how I know. That, well, yeah. So,
jokes aside, Nosferatu again. What is Salty's hair care routine? My boy's radiant tonight.
I just put on a hat because I was out in the wind. You're looking
genki, mate. You're looking healthy.
I don't know about that. No, I use it's gonna sound crazy. I use a hemp based shampoo with none of the terrible stuff in it, And there's a long list of things out there. And I use castor oil conditioner, and that's about it. Wash it maybe once a week, and that's about it. And then it's just bourbon and a lot of red meat. It's the secret to longevity. So,
Bourbon and red meat. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Charlie the Unicorn saying they need to remake Tank Girl in the worst way. There was a
agree with that
in the works recently.
I agree with that. It had a pretty good soundtrack on CD. I remember I had that and Radiohead and Bush. Remember Bush? Like all Christ, who was it? There's one of these guys. He OD'd. He was like a fuck up his whole life. I forget what his name is, but he did. I don't know. There's a lot of dudes that were popular in the 90s that couldn't get off that horse and are dead now. But they do. But would you want these studios to make it now? No. So
maybe an independent studio, possibly, but nothing mainstream, nothing major. No.
Yeah.
Please no.
Go ahead, dude.
I wish I could, Charlie. It's
dude,
if I try and grow it long, it goes thicker and thicker, and I end up with a huge fishbowl of a diving helmet. The old-fashioned style.
Dude, just find 3 other guys and then be a Beatles cover band. Okay, you can quit this teaching and YouTube shit and tour the world. You can get on a cruise ship.
Oh, that sounds good.
You could totally be Paul. You could be Paul, the sensitive one, the sensitive Beatle.
It's funny you say that. Speaking of good stuff, I just got my new edition of the first one, the Collector. Mate, the audio, Salty, they've cleaned it again. It sounds amazing.
That 70s was saying the same thing. And I'm thinking about doing that. Although I've got that one on vinyl, and I don't know if I had it on vinyl, of course. Remaster, but
wow,
yeah, I'm going to show off my Glad reel. Hold on. And no, that's not code for sex doll.
As long as we can see your panties, that's cool. Yeah, what was I going to say? CDs, I know, right? Look at the old Gen X guy still buying CDs, but I listen to it in the car.
Dude, I bought everything on physical media. Everything. Guys,
let me make you full screen. Let's get your sexy hair in the screen here. Here we go.
Yeah, hold on. I know how to YouTube. So this is a 1/6 scale, 12 inches, ladies. And then this is the Glad reel. She's about 20 years old. Got this off eBay. Some really good styling. And of course, like I mentioned to Gray, I have Bilbo, I have Frodo, I have Aragorn, which I'll pull out, a Gimli, Legolas. I mean, just endless amounts of these things. And it's taken me a couple of years to find them, because I'm not going to give people like, oh, here's $200. I'm not going to do that. But obviously, this is Gandalf. And
that's cool.
with all the
Look
figures
at that.
and everything.
Detail in his beard.
I mean, it's not for everybody, but it makes me happy. And I think that's the big thing, is just go find them things that make you happy. These things are getting harder to find, as well as the sets, and I'll show you some of those. But if you want Lord of the Rings things, now is the time, my friends, because a lot of people are feeling the same way we are. Normies that don't know who the fuck we are and would never watch YouTube are buying things that make them happy. And okay, Nas, we weren't going to talk about that.
Nosferatu.
Of course, yeah, of course. Whatever
Galadriel is code name for his Girls Gone Wild VHS tapes.
Yeah, whatever Nas says is true, obviously. So, but let me see. Hold on, I'll get one more. And I'll stop showing off my shit. But yeah, here we go. So
here we go.
And these are the smaller ones. Like, I collect these sets of these, which are getting very, very difficult. And this is just one of the smaller ones, because I can fit it on a screen. And yeah, the light's not going to work.
Frodo, Samwise, Bilbo, Merry and Pippin.
Well, and this is there and back again. But I have full sets, like huge boxes that aren't going to fit on the screen, that have like the Oliphants and like the Two Towers and the elves and everything like that. It's Toy Biz. These are great. These are a lot of fun. And we're nerds. You're going to like what you like. Maybe you like anime. Maybe you like DC Comics. Maybe you like, I don't know, shit that I don't like at all. And that's totally cool. But get these things, because they're not going to make them anymore. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a long fucking time before a franchise comes out where somebody goes, let's make action figures out of them that are cool, you know? Because you can go to Big Lots, you can go to Walmart and see all of the Marvels in the Star Trek Discovery, in the DC stuff, in the Disney stuff. And it's all there. The Buzz Lightyears, you know, every single thing is there. No one wants it. What's the difference between that piece of shit Buzz Lightyears or what, you know, Ms. Marvel doll? It's the same plastic, same packaging, right?
Gunpla, put
What
model,
makes
Gunpla.
this so evocative? What makes somebody want to go out and collect these? A grown fucking man and put toys on a fucking bookshelf and get on YouTube and talk about nerd shit. What's the difference? Just gonna park that right there. It's a rare thing when you find it.
Nice one, Solly. That's awesome. I love it when people get the collections out, their doll collections, as some people call them. But yeah, great to see. That's awesome. Wow. I don't know what to say after that. I'm kind of like, oh, whew.
Was it good for you, darling? Was it good for you?
It was wonderful for me. This has just been fantastic, hasn't it? It's been great. Having a good laugh, catching up.
I know. We didn't even talk about James Bond once. And you're like,
I know.
what are we going to talk about before we started the show? And I'm like, have we ever had a problem with that? Have we ever had a problem?
The plan is there is no plan. Absolutely.
That's
the way it goes with me. Great to see everyone in the chat. It's been amazing. Charlie's saying the Hot Toys Buzz Lightyear looks good. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I saw that they're bringing back the guy from Home Improvement who's a conservative to now voice Buzz Lightyear again. Is that a positive development? I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. So.
And Punk Waddle, they are making throwback X-Men and Marvel figures, the ones that we originally bought in the 90s. I wonder why.
I love those. Like I kind of love those, but it's like I have to draw the fucking line, you know, like I'm 50 fucking years old. I don't need to buy more fucking toys, you know? But it's like they are really cool. They're really cool. And I really love the retro Wolverine in that sort of yellow, the yellow OG costume. I love that.
Yes,
I love that shit. And I think Max Field Von Priestley has some great stuff like that. It like in his hall of his shelf of legends that he has. So yeah.
Speaking of good shit, sorry, just before we wrap things up, I want to share a little bit of this. You're asking me what I've been into recently? What have I been into? Let's have a look. Where are we? I'm so sick of modern Spider-Man that I've gone back in time to the 1970s. The original Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. It was the second official Spidey series. And let's look at this. Look at this art.
I know that
so
artwork,
colourful.
dude.
It's bright. It's Sal Buscema. You know, it's beautiful. Such a good style. And the stories
It's
are
clean.
fun. It's fun.
And it's clean. But here's the thing. I mean, the art style is clean and the graphic design is flawless. And the perspective on the action, it doesn't waste the space in those frames. Like there's something worth looking at in that frame. It's not like in current comics where there's a tampon in one frame that goes like 4 frames. And then maybe there's like a coffee cup or a litter box. They have fucking action in every frame because every frame is precious. And you know what I mean? And that's why these books are freaking fantastic. I was telling you today that I was in a shop that has a lot of out of stock, out of print comic books, and I wanted to send you stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they've got a almost 4 foot, you can't see my hands, about a 4 foot size of a hardbound version of Marvel Comics. They have a 2.5 foot version of the Elf Quest hardback about this thick, where these books are like holy tomes you would find in Minas Tirith. And I look at this artwork and it's like those books deserve artwork like this and stories like this deserve to be in a book that's almost a meter in size. And that goddamn book probably weighs about 40, 50 pounds. Could you imagine having this large scale, Greg? And no, I'm not going to mail it to you because it'd be like $10,000. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I kind of run out.
What's going on in your chat? Look at this.
No, crazy
people
stuff
talking about vegetable oil, white people, and Zax's government name.
Look at. It's
Yeah,
actually
look at
the new
Koba.
Nosferatu. He's one of the biggest chat trolls going these days. It's amazing.
That's okay. I mean, like, I
Awesome,
never
man.
remember the old days. Was a lot of everybody was trolling everybody in a good natured way. So
Too many
yeah.
white people. And
What?
yeah, Copa, you're right. Spider-Man not even in a wheelchair in this book. Hard pass.
And he has a penis, and he's
Dwayne
white.
said Sal Buscema was an advertising artist before he went to Marvel. And as you were saying, sorry, those panels, they're so good. There's so much going on. There's like so much detail. There's nothing is wasted. Now you just get these huge, boring scenes of people sat in a restaurant, or sat around eating food, talking about the feelings. I know it's a cliche, but it's true in a lot of
It is
books.
true. It is true, and that's why I made the joke that I did, because it's funny, but at the same time, it's really fucking sad, And these people don't make anything, as they love to tell you. Hence the variant covers. But this type of weird lowest common denominator economy, it doesn't work, and so
Doesn't work.
again, there are people who are putting out good stories. There are people who are putting out fantastic books like Adega. Other people that are putting out pretty good comics. Notice my choice of words. Pretty good comics that are going to get better. And there are people putting out comics that are not getting any better. And we can hope that they do. Gonna leave that right there. But it's an investment in the future, and let's see what they do. And that's about as honest as it can get if you're objective about it. But we'll see. There's a huge opportunity again for the same things like you just talked about, Gray, with Godzilla -1, and why we love stories and why we want to support independent artists who are worth supporting. That maybe didn't hit a home run in their first book or their first comic or whatever it is, but you saw the strength and you know what, they got on base. And then get their second book and it's like, okay, it's better. They picked up the pacing, they took feedback, and it's getting better. Because none of these franchises just went from 0 to 60 and became Captain America or the Hulk or Batman overnight, And it's up to you, each one of us, to decide what that means. And I know I am being a lot more careful with the money that I'm giving to people I don't know to make a book that I haven't seen with characters that I don't know, And it is what it is. So, but I'm an asshole, Gray.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Where are we? Was it clear?
Oh, sniff that.
Just before we wrap things up yet again, thoughts on Rebel Moon. This is from Charlie the Unicorn, and great to see you, Charlie. Thanks for all your comments so far. Not sure what to think of it yet from the trailers, says Charlie. I've only seen the trailer once, and it kind of, I don't know. Go on, Salty. Go on. I know you're dying to say something. Salty Moon. Awesome one.
For me, Zack Snyder has struck out more than he has.
Oh yeah,
scored a run. And Army of the Dead, I think, was one of the most colossal, embarrassing, horrible pieces of shit that I could not have imagined that was from Zack Snyder, and it was. Rebel Moon, I think, like everything else, and maybe it's just the world we live in now, but I pay attention to what they say in the way that I say it. What are the agendas things they're covering? It looks pretty. It looks like it could be really cool. Problem is he's already broken my house with countless DC movies. And again, Army of the Dead, total piece of dog shit that was edited together in the trailer to look like this is going to be awesome. So I don't mean to be waffling like I'm a certain gentleman from Japan who's very pasty tonight, but I don't know. I need to look more. Well, you were going, oh my God, Salty, I look so goddamn white, and I didn't want to say, yeah, you make like Nosferatu the vampire look like he's got a fucking like George Hamilton tan, but I just don't know, and I don't trust anything anymore, Charlie. I just don't, If it's all about trans representation and the message and eating bugs and humans are bad and children to be born in embryos, I mean, like, I'm a fucking out. But if it's a good story with heroes archetypes and Campbellian or Jungian archetypes that has a well-developed story, maybe it'll be good. I just don't know. But my salty meter is tipping toward I don't know if this is going to be any good. But I'd love to hear what people in chat have to say, because I have not done a video on this for expressly this reason. because I don't know what to think about this. And I've seen a lot of shit going back 6-9 months that not a lot of people covered on YouTube. And I've been tracking this. And it's like, I'm going to wait and watch this in the theater and then, or trust people who did go see it and then see what happens and then watch it on a pirate sites. So what do you think, Gray? Doing all your work for you tonight. Jesus Christ, you sit there looking pretty and I do all
I'm
the
thinking
work.
about is how white I look. Oh my God, I can't get past it. I'm so vain. I'm so vain. I'm open all day.
You probably think this show is about you, don't you? Don't you? Hey! I'll be right back.
Zax is saying
Go ahead.
Snyder can't be allowed near a pen. What kind of pen, Zax? The pig pen?
Jokes that can be made, I'm not going to make them. Give me 1 minute, Gray. I'll be back.
Cope is saying, how dare they market a movie to look awesome? What the feck? False advertising, Copa, says Jacob. And come on, it's Netflix, says Charlie. So we never know. It could be good. You know me, Salt in chat. You know me by now. I'm the eternal optimist, the optimistic fool. I've been hurt. I'll be hurt again. I don't know what I'm talking about. But parts of this look good. It could be good, but then it's Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder. 300, okay. 300 was good. I enjoyed Watchmen for what it was. I thought that was decent. What else? What am I missing? What's he made? I even liked his Justice League. It was much better than the one we got from Joss Whedon. Was it Joss Whedon? Who was basically... Was that Joss Whedon or was it somebody else? Oh, geez, I can't remember. But that wasn't Joss Whedon's movie anyway. I think it was probably the studio's cut, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
But as you said, Army of the Dead was awful. It was bloody...
Yeah.
It was a mess of a movie, that.
Well, let me just quickly address what you said. 300 was a staggering work of genius. I think it's one of those movies that as time goes on, people will look at it and think it's even better than we do now, because I rewatched that movie recently after years and I'm like, this movie is fucking genius. It is a comic book come to life. The Watchmen I saw in the movie theater needed to be edited.
Agree.
Or needed to be 2 movies. And as far as Justice League, the Snyder Cut, I think it's a work of staggering genius. It needed to be 2 movies. It's like, if you're going to make it and make it a cinematic streaming miniseries, staggering work of genius. But to me, you can't have a movie that long. This is not the 1960s. We are not telling the story of the Bible. Okay, like they used to make movies like that in the 60s, where these fucking things would be like 5 hours long, and you'd have like a half an hour like intermission where people would
Yes,
go and get
remember
sandwiches and get drunk at
intermissions?
the bar.
Lawrence of Arabia? I do. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like going to the theater. But then again, the screens were literally like IMAX size, or the 70mm screens back in the day, and they were super tall. But Zack Snyder, I mean, nobody deserves the benefit of the doubt anymore. They just don't. Even if George Lucas walked into Walt Disney and laid down like $80 billion and bought Star Wars back, I would say the same thing. Cautiously optimistic, but I just don't know who to trust anymore. And I feel that way about every goddamn director out there. The only one, and this is going to sound funny, is David Eggers.
Oh, yeah.
David Eggers is an art house guy. He did The Witch.
Can't wait for his
Northman,
Nosferatu, Salty.
and he's doing the Nosferatu. Because you go into a movie like that knowing what you're going to get. It's an art house film. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be crazy with the lighthouse. You should play that lighthouse clip, dude. I love that. With delight.
I know. I got a hit for it because it had a little bit of
music.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry. I know.
Can you believe it?
YouTube
not
has
you.
to steal.
Not YouTube even.
Throw you down some
it's the music
company.
companies. Music labels. Tina, look at this. Tina's got a great point. I want all the women to look like Jessica Rabbit with a plump ass and big titties. These woke peeps have gone too far.
Dude, I do too.
I miss that. We talk about this all the time, don't we? We share like crazy old, like say 70s.
You thought I was kidding about the 70s starlets and the like nude with the 70s bushes. Like we're sending James Bond girls to each other like in nude pictures. Like this is a real thing. Not all the time, okay? But appreciation to the female form. The female form has curves. Okay, it does. Now there's a big difference between curves and fucking Lizzo. Okay, there's a big difference between a woman and a goddamn dump truck of
It's
heart
meant to have
disease.
curves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now that being said, skinny girls are great too, but it's like, it's called biology and it exists for a reason. There's a reason why the morbidly obese, scarred up Victoria's Secret models tanked their sales. The reason why is racism has nothing to do with it. It's to do with a biological imperative. But I digress. Where did that come from, Tina? What are you thinking about? Like Jessica Rabbit? I mean,
Great film,
have
by the
sex
way.
with Jessica
Who
Rabbit? Would
Framed
you have
Roger
sex with
Rabbit?
Jessica
Yeah.
Rabbit, Gray? Would you have sex with Jessica Rabbit?
Oh, Jesus. Now you're asking the difficult questions.
Dude, I'm not. Tina is. I'm just taking it.
She's a
to the
cartoon
appropriate
character.
step.
How would that even work? Sorry.
Okay. I don't know. Rhetorical question. Sorry.
That's all right.
We know Nosferatu would. Okay. Like, just park that right there. Yeah.
You've made Noz's night. You made him happy. Robert Eggers is my favourite modern director, says Nosferatu.
Yeah. And again,
I cautious, eh? Cobra, cautious.
I just don't put anybody on a shelf anymore, and it really fucking sucks. Because you want to know that somebody's gonna deliver. Now, like, I'm still waiting.
Milk wagons,
I'm still
please,
waiting. No, milk wagons. Yeah. I'm still waiting for Peter Jackson to announce what I'm pretty sure is going to happen, and that he's going to be involved in the Lord of the Rings movies, because they have to generate excitement for it somehow. Harry Potter, I have no fucking hope at all for the remakes, and I love Harry Potter. I've got the entire series on Blu-ray. I've got the soundtracks. I think it's fantastic. Great story. I have zero hope for a remake. Zero. That's what I'm talking about. Look at those are good women.
Russ Meyer, he had the right idea. He used to always use like buxom actresses in this crazy. I think this is it Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Yeah.
Is it late 60s? It could be.
Yeah.
Man. Just a random photo I happen to have on my hard drive. There we go.
Well, they got something to hold on to their hips, but we're not talking about trying to hold on to the back of a bus. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a big difference, So.
Okay, I missed the previous comment. She was talking about the kind of superheroes that I want to see or I want. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Tina.
Yeah.
I can't find it, but yeah. No, you're right. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to see masculine women and I don't want to see feminine men. Okay, what is wrong with that? Apparently, that is wrong.
Well,
these days.
that means you're an enemy of the globalist plan for humanity, the fourth industrial turning. Where there is no gender, there's no family, there's no mother, and there's no father. I wish I was making this up, guys. It's not my fucking idea; it's theirs. Okay, and you know why? That's what they've said they're going to do. Now, is it any surprise that Disney and all these other major studios have been all doing the same fucking thing at the same time, losing the same amount of money with the same talking points? Is it just a coincidence? No. Is it ever going to change? I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll see. But somebody's going to make good movies, and they're not going to fucking suck, and they're going to get a lot of money. That's what I know.
So. This is true. This is true. Like this movie.
You're fond of me lobster, ain't you?
Drunken in a Virginia fence.
I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
I'm fond of his lobster. It's true. Guilty as charged. Willem Dafoe, you crazy bastard. I can't wait for him to be a vampire. Again. This will be the second time he's been a vampire. So.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. And yeah, Kobe, you're right. Russ Meyer knew how to make movies. Big boobs, lots of violence. The end.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? I don't care. Yeah, I'm a dirty old man. I admit it. I don't care.
We both are. Don't be exclusionary here. I'm a dirty old white guy that's the same age as you. So yeah.
So on that note, should we wrap things up, Solly? Do you want to shout anything out? Do you want to shout anything out?
Nah. I'm Salty Travel & See. Check out my channel if you haven't. Chances are you might have already. If not, I put out a Doctor Who video today that it's all right. Give it a like if you want, but more importantly, support Gray. Gray does good work. Be here every Friday night when he wants to, and he brings good people on. Shut up, Gray. I'm lying for you. And
keep lying.
Yeah, I do want to do one thing though, and that's shout out Blair to Blair.
Yes,
And
please.
I don't know if Blair's out in the audience or not. For those of you who probably know or don't know, Blair was in the hospital. He was pretty goddamn sick. And I saw today that he had reached out and we had commented on some things, but he's somebody that I love working with when I come on Gray's show. And he's a really good guy with a really good heart. So Blair, if you're watching this on the replay or if you're somewhere out there, just know, dude, like you're a good guy and you mean a lot to me. Not just as a fucking content creator, but as a human being. You're fun to work with in our
Yeah,
conversations
same.
after shows like this. So I hope
I
you're
hope you're
doing all
feeling
right.
better,
So
man. I
everybody
hope you're on the mend.
reach out to Blair on Twitter or social media. Let him know that you're thinking about him. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, get better. Well, he's awesome. He's cool, and he loves talking about good movies, just like we do.
He's wicked funny. He's a wicked fun, good guy. So yeah.
Okay, what should we play at the end of Salty? Should we say goodbye?
Tits.
Goodbye.
Tits.
I don't
Gratuitous
have any
nudity.
tit clips handy, unfortunately. Oh my god, what's the closest thing I've
Dude,
got
what
to?
am I doing on the show?
I know. Why are we here? Can you believe it? By the way, nobody got this show.
Buzz off. That track gets everywhere.